Horns up, Happy New Year and welcome to Headbanger's Kitchen. My name is Sahil, I'm a heavy metal musician and I'm also the author of the recipe book called Keto Life. Yep, this is the one and it's out now worldwide. Welcome to my brand new series called Keto For Beginners, where I tell you what to eat, when to eat and how to eat on the keto diet. The keto diet, or the keto lifestyle as we prefer to call it, is fast becoming one of the most popular ways of eating, especially for weight loss. And with good reason too. Keto has helped a lot of people lose a lot of weight. It's also helped people with their diabetes and to improve their overall health. So it comes as no surprise to me that everyone wants to jump onto the keto bandwagon. But there is a lot of information online about keto and I can totally understand how it can be very intimidating and quite overwhelming for a lot of people who just want to get started on their keto journey and lose weight, which is exactly why I've started this series. Now I would recommend that you slowly but surely familiarize yourself with keto, how it works, what are keto macros, how to log your calories. In fact, for this very reason, I did a Keto 101 series where I explained everything in great detail, and if you click here on the I button, you will be able to access my Keto 101 playlist, which has all the videos in one place. So over the next week or two, I would like you to watch those videos at your own pace and soak in all that information. And till then, I will make your life easy by just telling you what you need to eat and when you need to eat, till you figure it all out and are able to do it on your own. So in this video, I'm going to give you a full day's meal plan. Breakfast, lunch, a snack and dinner. And what I want you to do is to eat the same food for the next 7 days. Yes, nobody said this was going to be easy, but it is going to work. So what I want you to do is go shopping tomorrow and prepare everything, and then following that for the next 7 days eat the same food. And 6 days from now join me for the second episode where I will give you the meal plan for week number 2. So for the next 4 weeks I'm going to give you a new keto meal plan every week, and you're going to eat that for the entire week. And during this 1 month, you're not only going to lose weight, you're going to watch all those videos and you're going to understand keto properly, so that at the end of this 1 month, you have not only lost some weight, you've also understood keto and you are able to continue your journey all by yourself without anyone holding your hand. Now, before I get started and give you the meal plan, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. So the first thing to keep in mind is to adjust the quantity of food that you eat. Now this meal plan is based on me. So I'm 5 feet 5 inches tall, my weight is 70 kilograms. So obviously if you are a bigger person, you might need more food than I do. If you are a smaller person, you may need less food than me. So for example, if you are 6 feet tall and say 90 kilos, while 2 eggs might be sufficient for me, you might need 3 or maybe even 4. Or say you are shorter than me, maybe you are 5 feet tall, 2 eggs might be too filling for you, so you may only need to eat 1 egg. So it's important to keep that in mind and adjust this plan to suit your own needs. Which brings me to point number 2. Eat only when hungry. So like I said, I'm giving you breakfast, lunch, a snack and dinner. Suppose you are feeling full after lunch and do not feel like eating the snack, don't force yourself to eat it. Similarly, if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like eating breakfast, don't eat it. It's important not to just sort of program yourself to eat based on a time. So, oh, it's 9 o'clock, I got to eat breakfast. No, when you wake up in the morning, depending on how hungry you feel and when you feel hungry, eat then. For example, if you can't finish your lunch, don't force yourself. Leave the lunch incomplete and eat it later when you are hungry. So very important to keep that in mind. Point number 3. no alcohol. Now, while alcohol is permitted on keto, certain kinds only, if you are here to lose weight, alcohol is not your friend. Apart from the fact that it has no real nutritional benefit, it is a lot of empty calories. Alcohol also leads to a lot of bad decisions in life, namely eating carbohydrates when you're on keto. So absolutely no alcohol. So what can you drink? Well, while you are on keto, while you are following this meal plan, you can drink water, you can drink black coffee, black tea and green tea. That is all. If you feel the need that you need some kind of milk in your coffee or tea, you can have heavy cream, almond milk, coconut milk and soya milk. And if you need a bit of a sweetener, then you can have stevia or erythritol. But that's pretty much all that you're allowed. Which brings me to my fourth and final point. So after you're done watching this video, I want you to go to my website headbangerskitchen.com and read the blog post. I will give you the exact link in the video description box just below this video. Now what that blog post is going to have is all the information you need about starting keto, a shopping list. It's also going to have substitutions. So for example, if you don't want to eat beef, I'll give you an alternative to it. Say you can't find avocado where you live, I'll give you an alternative, and so on and so forth. So all the information will be on headbangerskitchen.com in the blog post, including written recipes. But I'm not going to give you any macros because the idea of this series is to leave that out of the picture for now. We'll get to that later on. Anyway, I think that's enough jibber jabber from me. Let's get started. Alright, so your first meal of the day is going to be breakfast, and on the menu is eggs, bacon and avocado. And we are going to fancy up that avocado a little bit by turning it into guacamole. So pretty simple breakfast: bacon, eggs and avocado. Well, bacon, eggs and guacamole actually. So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare the guacamole, and the star of this show is the avocado. And I've got a pretty fancy avocado, but I've been a little afraid about whether it will be too ripe or underripe. But I'm just going to take a chance and cut it open anyway by running my knife right around the avocado. And you can see my avocado is almost perfect. It has a few brown spots, but it's still edible. And I use the knife to kind of get the seed to pop out of the avocado. And how I like to cut the avocado is use my knife and run it along the avocado upwards and sideways, so you get little avocado cubes. So anyway, I'm just going to get a bowl and then I'm going to use a spoon and scoop out the avocado. And it's got a few more overripe spots, but honestly it doesn't matter, just eat the avocado. Life is not perfect and neither is your avocado. Anyway, once I've scooped out all the avocado, it's time to make the guacamole. So I'm going to start by seasoning the avocado with some salt generously. I'm going to squeeze in some lemon juice, though thinking about it now I should have squeezed in lime juice instead. That's more authentic. Anyway, whether you use a lime or lemon, it's all good. The next thing I'm going to do is chop some red onion, and you can also use your regular white onion if you like. And you want to chop this nice and fine, and the amount of onion you use in your guacamole is completely up to you. So anyway, after chopping that onion, I'm going to put some of it in the guacamole. And I'm not afraid of onions, so I'm going to be generous with it. Then I'm going to take a really teeny tiny tomato that I have, and I'm going to chop that up. Of course, once again, you can use any kind of tomato you like. You can use as much or as little as you like. So anyway, after chopping the tomato, in it goes, all of it, because I love the freshness of fresh tomato. And then in goes some coriander, also known as cilantro. It's all good. Chop that up. And then the cilantro or the coriander goes right into the guacamole. And then of course I'm going to take a fork and give it all a good mix and a little bit of a mash. So I'm kind of squashing the avocado, but I'm also going to leave a little bit of those chunks intact because it tastes really good, man. I love that texture. Anyway, after giving it all a good mix and mash, my guacamole is ready. Now on to the bacon and eggs. Now I'm going to get my non-stick pan onto the stove on a medium heat, and I'm going to add in 2 rashers of bacon. Well, I was feeling a little greedy, so I decided to add in a third one. I would also like to state for the record that the bacon I'm using is not very large bacon, so hey, 3 is okay. And watch now, the bacon will slowly render out its fat and you will see it start to shrink, which is also why 3 rashers make sense. So anyway, just patiently watch that bacon as it cooks. And once I think it's getting some color on one side, I'm going to flip it over. Now ladies and gentlemen, please cook the bacon to your liking. Some people like their bacon chewy, some people like it crispy, some people don't even eat bacon. Anyway, let me know in the comments whether you like your bacon with a bit of chew or you like it nice and crunchy. I like my bacon with a bit of crunch to it, and I also like it a nice dark color. So anyway, as you can see, my bacon is pretty much done. Now I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put it on a plate on a paper towel, because I don't really need that excess grease right now. It's fine. And you will see that there is a lot of residual bacon fat in the pan. That's perfect. Now we're going to, in the same pan, fry our eggs. So I'm just going to crack 2 eggs into the pan and I'm just going to do a fried egg. Now of course you can scramble, you can make an omelette, it's completely up to you. Just use that bacon fat in the pan. Anyway, I'm going to season my eggs with some salt and some fresh black pepper. And then I'm going to cover it with a lid and let it cook for 3 full minutes. And after 3 full minutes, my eggs are ready and done to my liking. So I'm just going to take them out in a plate. And there, my fried eggs are ready. So anyway, now all we got to do is take our eggs, put our bacon next to the eggs, and then scoop in some of that guacamole. As much or as little as you like. But remember, try and not overeat. And you know what I love about this meal? You can use that crispy bacon like a nacho and scoop up that guacamole. And anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's your beautiful breakfast of eggs, bacon and avocado. And it is delicious, it is perfect, and it should keep you full for a good amount of time. Alright, so once you're done with breakfast, the next meal is going to be lunch. And for lunch, you're going to have a delicious ground beef stir fry with broccoli and zucchini. So I'm going to start by prepping my broccoli, and I'm just going to cut the florets away from the stem. Just use your knife and cut those florets right off. You can also use your hands and just break the florets away from the stem. Pretty simple. And that's it, your broccoli is ready, but don't throw away the broccoli stalk. It can be used in a number of recipes. I'll put all the information on headbangerskitchen.com in the blog post. The next thing I'm going to do is chop up the zucchini, and since I had a pretty large one, I decided to only use half of it for this recipe. And the other half of the zucchini will be used after about 3 or 4 days when I need to make this dish again. So just cut the zucchini. I like to cut it down the middle and then chop it up into nice bite-sized pieces. And once you're done with the broccoli and the zucchini, it's time to get cooking. So I'm going to start as usual by getting my non-stick pan on the stove, and I'm going to heat up some avocado oil. If you don't have avocado oil, there are plenty of other options. I'll mention all of them on the website in my blog post. So once the avocado oil is nice and hot and just about starting to smoke, I'm going to add in my ground beef. Now you want to get 80-20 ground beef. That is 80% meat and 20% fat. If you don't like beef, you can use pork, chicken, lamb, whatever. Any ground meat will do the job. So anyway, put that beef in the pan and let it start cooking. I am, however, going to season it right now with some salt and some pepper, because I like to season the dish as I go along. That way you build a lot more flavor into it. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of red onion that I have and some freshly chopped garlic. And the onion is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. If you don't like it, you can put as little or as much garlic as you like. But you want to cook the beef, the onions and the garlic together now. The onions will start to soften and that whole thing is going to smell really delicious. Once that's been cooking for about a minute, I'm going to season it now with some paprika. And I'm going to be generous with the paprika because I really love the flavor. I'm also going to throw in some red chili flakes because that's going to give it a little bit of heat, and some fresh thyme. And if you don't have fresh thyme, you can use dried thyme. You can also use rosemary, oregano, plenty of options. It's completely up to you. Anyway, I'm just going to give this all a good mix and let it cook now. And what's going to happen is that beef fat is going to melt and render out, and the beef is going to fry with all these spices together, and all of it is going to fry and turn into something really beautiful. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is add in my zucchini. And I realized I have a lot of vegetables for this pan. But anyway, I'm going to give it a good mix without spilling any of it outside the frying pan. And then I debated whether I should put the broccoli into this frying pan or whether I should shift over and use a bigger dish for this. Anyway, I said let me take the risk, and then in goes my broccoli. And it all fits, but I'm going to have to be precautious while I'm stirring everything. Anyway, I'm also going to season the broccoli now with some salt, and I'm going to cover it now and cook it for about a minute or two. After checking in, I'm going to be brave and give everything a good mix and try and get everything mixed together without spilling everything out of the frying pan. And looks like I'm doing okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grate some cheese over this. And I'm using a cheese called Scaramuza, but you can use any cheese that you like. You can use cheddar, you can use mozzarella, you can use Gouda. It's completely up to you. Anyway, once I've grated a sufficient amount of cheese over that, I'm also going to add some heavy whipping cream. And now I'm just going to cover it and let it cook for a little while more. After a minute or two, I'm feeling brave and I'm going to give everything a stir once again, and hopefully nothing will spill over. And now I'm going to cook this for a bit longer because I want my broccoli to be nice and tender, but if you like it to have a little bit of snap, you can cook it for a shorter duration. So anyway, now I'm going to cover it and let it cook for a little bit more. And finally, now everything looks like it's coming together. I'm going to taste it because, well, I need to check the seasoning. And I felt that mine needed a little more salt, so I added a little more salt. And now of course you'll see that there is some liquid in the frying pan, and you'll want to reduce this, so you can cover it and cook it, or you can remove the lid and cook it. It's up to you. But now to finish the dish, I'm going to throw in about a tablespoon or two of cream cheese. And this cream cheese is going to melt, and it is going to make the creamiest and most delicious ground beef and broccoli and zucchini stir fry. I mean, this is going to be awesome. So anyway, give it all a final good mix, and once the liquid in the pan has reduced to your liking, it's pretty much done. So I'm going to serve myself some in a bowl. I'm going to grate a little fresh Parmesan cheese on the top and sprinkle a little bit of paprika. And that's pretty much it. Our beef stir fry is ready. So enjoy this for your lunch. One well-filled regular size bowl should be sufficient. Hopefully the lunch will keep you satiated all the way to dinner, but in case it doesn't, you are also getting an evening snack. And for your evening snack, you're going to have ham, cheese and lettuce roll-ups. So for the lettuce wraps, you can use any lettuce you like. I'm using a green leafy lettuce, and I've washed the lettuce. Please make sure you wash your lettuce. There's nothing worse than dirty lettuce. Now if you think your lettuce leaf is too big, bigger than the slice of ham that you've got, you can cut some of it off and make it smaller, or you can leave it as it is and fold it in. I'll show you later how to do that. Anyway, get your lettuce leaf, and I'm going to be using some Dijon mustard, which I'm going to spread over the lettuce. You can use any mustard that you like. You could also use a keto mayo, or you could also use some hot sauce. Once you have spread the lettuce, on goes your slice of ham, or slices of ham in my case, since I'm using some French ham. And then I'm going to put a slice of cheese, but you can once again use any cheese that you like. And then all you got to do is roll it up. And that's it, your lettuce wrap is ready. Now since I'm going to photograph this, I am putting a toothpick into it so it stays and holds its shape. And then I thought I should cut it in half and show you the cross section. So check it out. That looks pretty good if you ask me. Anyway, I'm going to make one more lettuce wrap. So take your lettuce leaf, put your mustard on it. Then on goes the ham. And finally the cheese. And then I'm going to fold the extended part of the lettuce leaf inward and then roll it. So you don't actually have to chop off the extra part of the lettuce, you can just eat all of it. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how simple it is to make these ham and cheese lettuce wraps. And your final meal for the day is going to be dinner. And for dinner, you're going to have a delicious chicken salad. Very simple, easy to prepare and delicious. So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare the chicken, and I'm using 2 boneless and skinless chicken thighs. I'm just going to cover the chicken with some cling film, and then with the flat end of a meat mallet, just bash it out. Now the reason I'm doing this is so that it helps the chicken to cook evenly. However, this is an optional step, you don't need to do this. Also, if you can't get chicken thighs, you can do this with chicken breast, and alternatively you can also use chicken thigh with the skin on, no problem. Anyway, once I've beaten that chicken, it's time to season it. And I'm going to be seasoning it with some salt, some black pepper and some curry powder. Now I'm just using a generic curry powder that I picked up in Bangkok. And if you can't find curry powder where you live, you can also use paprika, cayenne pepper, or even some cumin powder. Once you're done seasoning the chicken on one side, flip it over and then season it on the other. And once our chicken has been seasoned, it's time to get cooking. So I'm going to get my non-stick pan on the stove, and I'm going to heat up some avocado oil. And once that avocado oil is nice and hot, I'm going to put my chicken thighs into the pan. Now because these are boneless and skinless chicken thighs, they won't actually take very long to cook. About 3 to 4 minutes on each side will do the job. Anyway, just let that chicken cook, and if you look at the sides of the chicken, you will see the color start to turn white. That means it's cooking all the way through. And now I'm gonna flip them over. And oh yeah, just look at that chicken. It looks delicious. Look at that beautiful golden crust on the chicken. I could eat it right now, but I won't. Anyway, like I said, this doesn't take very long, 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And well, our chicken thighs are ready. So I'm just going to take them out and put them on a plate and let them rest. Because they've had a hard day, you know. Anyway, now on to making the dressing for our salad. And I'm going to start with a full tablespoon of peanut butter. All natural, no sugar added. To that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of water. And then I'm going to microwave it for about 30 seconds. And then I'm going to give it all a good whisk. And basically what we're doing is we're thinning out the peanut butter here. So once that's been done and you've got a nice thin and runny peanut butter, we are going to now add the next thing in. So in goes a nice big squeeze of some lemon juice. You can also use lime juice, no problem. Then I'm going to add a little bit of soya sauce. You can also use coconut aminos if you don't want to use soya sauce. Either one of them is fine. About a teaspoon. I'm also going to throw in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Next, I'm going to season this with some salt and some black pepper and the resting juices from the chicken. And I'm going to give it all a good whisk. And that's it. Our salad dressing is pretty much ready. Oh, but wait a minute, I forgot to add a little bit of stevia for a little bit of sweetness. And I give it a final good mix, and our salad dressing is ready. And before I assemble the salad, I want to chop up that chicken, and I'm going to cut nice big pieces. If you want, however, you can chop it up into smaller pieces, no problem. And that chicken looks absolutely spectacular. I mean, you could just eat it on your own. But don't eat it with the salad, since we're going through all the trouble. Now to assemble the salad, I'm just going to get a plate and put in my greens. So I've just purchased like a ready salad mix from the supermarket. I'm pretty sure you can get this anywhere. Otherwise, you can just get some lettuce, maybe a little bit of baby spinach, maybe some shredded cabbage, and make your own salad mix. So anyway, I'm going to pour the dressing over that mixed salad of mine. And you can see mine has some cherry tomatoes as well. Once I've poured the dressing over, I'm going to sprinkle over some white sesame seeds for a little bit of crunch. and also some black sesame seeds. And then on goes the star of the show, our chicken. And finally, I'm going to finish it with a little bit of fresh coriander, or as some of you know it, cilantro. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The chicken salad for your dinner is ready. And that completes your keto meal plan for week number 1. As I said earlier, make sure you read the blog post. The link is in the video description box just below this video, where you can find all the additional information, food substitutes and other information that you need. And if you still can't find something that you're looking for after reading the blog post, please feel free to leave me a comment below and I will be happy to answer your questions. So I guess that's it from me for this first episode of Keto for Beginners. I wish you all the best and I will see you next week with another meal plan for you. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. I will see you on the next episode. Cheers and keep cooking. So ladies and gentlemen, another way to start the keto diet is by grabbing a copy of my book Keto Life, because apart from having my 100 best recipes, it also has all the information you need about the keto diet, and it will definitely help you on your keto journey. Link to order this is in the description box as well. I'm also a musician, like I mentioned earlier, and you can click here and listen to one of my songs, or click here for another keto video.